Cockroach. You know, there's a world of opportunity out there, says Mr. Bainbridge. A world full of opportunities just waiting for a young man like you. Yes, a world of opportunities, yes, sir. I feel like taking the opportunity to tell him to shut up, but I'm much too polite for that. Besides, Mr. Bainbridge is Dad's boss. I'm under strict instructions tonight to just sit quietly, behave myself, and not muck up in any way. The worst thing is Dad has made me promise not to play any practical jokes. No squirting flowers, no exploding cans of peanuts, no rubber vomit. Dad said that if I tried any funny stuff at the dinner table, my pocket money would be stopped for a month. I made the promise, but I don't think Dad realizes how hard it is for me. See, the thing is, I'm a practical jokeaholic. I need to play practical jokes like other people need to breathe air and drink water. I don't really see what's wrong with a few harmless practical jokes anyway. They help me to break the ice. It's not like I've got a lot to say to Mr. and Mrs. Bainbridge. I mean, how do you talk to people who think iced tea is a drink? Or that doing your homework is more important than figuring out how to defeat Sector in Mortal Kombat 3? And, as if that's not bad enough, what can you talk about with people whose eyes go all glassy when you try to explain these things to them? What a snorefest. Too many kids these days, says Mr. Bainbridge, expect opportunity to come to them. But it doesn't work that way. Oh no. You've got to go out and grab it by the neck. When I was a young man, dinner is served, says Mrs. Bainbridge, coming out of the room with an enormous bowl of salad. Thank God, I blurt out before I can stop myself. Oh, I beg your pardon, says Mr. Bainbridge. I just mean, let's be thankful to God for such a beautiful spread, I say quickly. Mum and Dad are glaring at me. Oh, says Mr. Bainbridge. That's all right then. For a moment there, I thought you were taking the Lord's name in vain. That's the other trouble with young people today. They have no... Perhaps you'd like to say grace, Andy, says Mrs. Bainbridge. The lasagna's getting cold. Ah, yes, I say. It's been a long time since I said grace. I can barely remember the words. Everybody closes their eyes. For a moment I'm tempted to say 2, 4, 6, 8, bog and don't wait. And then I remember Dad's warning. For what we are about to receive... I know I should have my eyes shut too, but somebody's got to keep their eyes open to make sure everyone else's stay closed. And, as I'm the one saying grace, it might as well be me. But, as I'm trying to think of the next line, I see something in the salad bowl. Something oval, something dark brown, something that looks a lot like a dead cockroach. At least I think it's dead. It's sort of hard to tell. All I know is there's a cockroach in the salad, and it probably wasn't put there on purpose. Unless Mr. and Mrs. Bainbridge eat cockroaches, which seems unlikely. I mean, Mr. Bainbridge must get paid more than Dad, and we don't have to eat cockroaches. May the Lord make us truly thankful. Truly thankful for a cockroach? This would be funny if it wasn't so serious. I can't just put my hand in and say, excuse me, there's a dead cockroach in my salad. It would make it look like the Bainbridges have a really dirty kitchen. They'd get really embarrassed because they'd think that we think that cockroaches fall into their food all the time. But even worse still, Dad might think that I put it in there for a joke, and that would mean trouble. I have to get it out before anybody notices. For everybody's sake. I grab my spoon to scoop the roach off the salad leaf. Amen, says Mr. Bainbridge, finishing grace for me as he opens his eyes. He picks up the salad bowl. Salad, Andy? Yes, please, I say. Luck is running my way. Mr. Bainbridge passes me the bowl. I scoop a large portion of salad onto my plate, including the top 2 pieces of lettuce with the dead cockroach in them. So far, so good. Mrs. Bainbridge places a large slab of lasagna on the other side of my plate. Normally my mouth would be watering, but the cockroach has kind of taken the edge off my appetite. Would you like some potatoes, Andy? Mrs. Bainbridge passes me a bowl full of steaming spuds. I pick out one and pass the bowl to Mr. Bainbridge. Now that the roach is on my plate, all I have to do is get it into my pocket before anybody notices. But first I have to distract them. What a beautiful landscape! I point to a painting on the wall above Mum's head. Everybody turns to look. I lift up the piece of lettuce, but the cockroach has other ideas. It's not dead! It jumps off the lettuce leaf onto the table and starts running, straight towards me. The roach reaches the edge of the table and tumbles onto my lap. I try to brush it onto the floor, but it disappears underneath my napkin. Luckily, the others are still studying the painting. Nobody else has seen the cockroach's 30-centimetre sprint. I discreetly lift the corner of my napkin to see where the roach has got to, but it's not there. I feel a gentle prickling on my stomach. It's underneath my shirt. I freeze. The roach crawls around my side and onto my back. I guess I could crush it by throwing myself back hard against a chair. It would probably work. But it might take more than one go to actually kill it, and this could give Mr. and Mrs. Bainbridge the wrong impression. I don't want them to be thinking I've lost my mind. "Are you keen on painting, Andy?" asked Mrs. Bainbridge. "I like it, but I'm not very good at it. I'm trying hard not to panic." "Ah," said Mr. Bainbridge, "but practice makes perfect. If a fellow really wants to do something badly enough and he's prepared to apply himself long enough, then—" "Yes, dear, that's all very well, but perhaps Andy doesn't want to be a painter. What are your favourite subjects, Andy?" I'm trying hard to concentrate on the conversation, but it's not easy. The roach has relocated itself underneath my left arm. I can hardly breathe. It feels like it's burrowing into my armpit. I guess I like English the best. Not too crazy about maths or science. No, says Mr. Bainbridge. You don't want to neglect your maths and your science, for keep your options open. That's what I say. Science and technology, that's where the opportunities are. Mrs. Bainbridge rolls her eyes. I feel sorry for her, if I wasn't feeling so sorry for myself. I only have to put up with this bull for one night. She has to live with it. The roach has finished playing in my armpit, and now I can feel it crawling down my chest. I can't stand it anymore. The damn cockroach could be laying eggs in my belly button for all I know. They're probably incubating in my stomach right now. They'll hatch inside me and burst out of my chest like the facehugger an alien. I ask for directions to the toilet and excuse myself from the table. It's roach-killing time. The bathroom's upstairs. I snip the door behind me and yank off my t-shirt. It flies across the room, skims the top of the toilet bowl, and lands in a heap beside it. But the roach is not on my chest. Or my back. Oh no! Not a moment to lose. I kick my shoes off, I peel off my trousers and my underpants in one swift movement. I'm completely naked except for my socks, but I still can't find the roach. There are only two places it can be, one of which is too horrible to even think about. I study the pile of clothes carefully. The cockroach emerges from the bottom of my jeans. It's creeping up my left leg. I pick up one of my shoes very slowly so that the roach doesn't notice and raise it high above my head. The roach reaches the bottom button of my fly. I take a deep breath, but something holds me back. If I smash it right there, I'm going to end up with this pasty white gut splattered all over the front of my jeans. Not cool. Might look like I've had an embarrassing accident. I put my shoe down slowly. The cockroach crawls back inside my jeans. There's got to be a better way than splattering. I look around for inspiration. There's a window above the toilet. It's high and very small, but it might do. I could climb up there, hold the jeans outside the window, and shake the cockroach off. No sweat, no splatter, no roach. I pick up the jeans, taking care to hold the waist and the trouser leg closed so that the cockroach can't escape. I shut the lid of the toilet and use it to step on to the cistern. The window is now level with my head. I lean against the wall for balance and slide the open window as far as it will go. I push the jeans out of the window and shake them as hard as I can. Suddenly the roach is on my hand. I get such a fright, I drop the jeans, lose my footing, and crash down into the bath. I feel like lying here, closing my eyes and pretending it's all just a bad dream. But I have to find the roach before it disappears again. I get out of the bath and study myself in the mirror. The roach is sitting on top of my head. This time I know exactly what to do. It's not going to be as pleasant, but it's the only way. This is one tricky cockroach, and I can't afford to take any chances. I go back to the toilet and get down onto my knees. I lift the lid and bend lower and lower until my head is right inside the bowl. Then I take a deep breath, reach up, and push the flush button. It's horrible. Toilet water up my nose, toilet water in my ears, toilet water in my mouth. Finally, the flushing stops. I sit up. It's gone. But so are my jeans. I can't go back to the table without them. What would I say? I can just imagine the conversation. Mrs. Bainbridge. Where are your pants, Andy? Me. Oh, I actually dropped them out the bathroom window, Mrs. Bainbridge. Mr. Bainbridge. Isn't that annoying? It happens to me all the time. Why don't you have a look out in my wardrobe and see if there's anything there that fits you? Yeah, right. Dream on. Meanwhile, back in the real world, I'm naked from the waist down. There's no choice, really, but to climb out the window and fetch my jeans. I don't fancy a month without pocket money. I climb back on top of the cistern and lean across to the tiny window. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but since I haven't eaten any dinner yet, I reckon I'll make it. I grip the narrow ledge and pull myself up and halfway out. It's a long way to the ground. I didn't realize I was so high up. but I'm in no danger of falling. I'm stuck. I can't go forward and I can't go back. And to make matters worse, there's someone banging on the door. "It's taken," I yell. "Is everything all right?" calls Mum. "You've been in there an awfully long time." "Yes, I'll be in a second." "He's not answering," says Mum. "I think there's something wrong." She can't hear me because my head is outside. Then I hear Mr. Bainbridge's voice. "Stand back, everyone. I'm going to break down the door." Oh, great. My hero. I hear a huge crash. Mr. Bainbridge is no muscle man, but the flimsy lock snaps like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger himself out there. "Oh, my God," says Mr. Bainbridge. For probably the first time in his life, Mr. Bainbridge has taken the Lord's name in vain. But I guess the last thing he expected to see was my bare bum staring at him from his bathroom window. "Oh, my God," said Mrs. Bainbridge. "Oh, my God," says Mum. "Oh, my God," says Dad. I know this seems a little unusual, but there's a perfectly reasonable and logical explanation. See, while I was saying grace, I saw this cockroach in the salad bowl, only I didn't want to say anything because... But I might as well be telling it to the man in the moon. Mum and Dad and the Bainbridges are too busy gabbling on about ladders and fire brigades and irresponsible young idiots who can't even be trusted to sit the right way on a toilet seat. I close my eyes and wonder if I'll be able to interest anybody in bidding for the TV, newspaper, magazine, film and book rights to make my story, and whether the proceeds will make up for the pocket money I'm about to lose. One door closes, another opens. Like Mr. Bainbridge says, there's a world of opportunities out there.